Espineli was 2 and nowhere near being terrible. In 2005, she was your typical bubbly and happy toddler.
Her first word, I wanted to be mommy, but of course it was dada.
You know how every father feels. Proud moment.
Arcy Espineli was proud of his little girl, but soon she'd have to fight for her life, and he'd learned the lesson of his lifetime.
Why things happen is it happens for a reason, and that's God's way,
Liz and Arcy had gone through a family's worst nightmare, and it all began with little changes in their little girl.
She was just always laying down. She didn't want to do anything. And it didn't look normal for a little 2-year-old to be like that. She kind of lost a lot of color on her face. She fell on her bottom, like any little toddler would fall on their bottom. But she screamed with so much pain, and we thought she broke something.
A few weeks later, Arcy and Liz were rushing Ryla into the emergency room.
Her eyes were moving backwards, and I thought she was having to pass out, and I kept telling her, honey, look at me, don't fall asleep, because I didn't want her to go to sleep. And she tried looking at me as much as she could, and we waited for maybe 2 hours or so. When the doctor walked in, another doctor walked in also with the social worker and the nurse. They said, we looked at her results, her blood, and it doesn't look good. And they said there's a possibility that she might have leukemia.
I found out she had cancer, and I was just asking God, whatever I did wrong, give me a chance to correct it. Just give me the opportunity to redo what I did wrong.
Arcy realized that he'd been taking his relationship with God for granted. He'd been attending worship services, but not always listening. So he began fighting to change himself, while Ryla battled leukemia.
Seeing my daughter giving me that look I need you, Mom, please don't panic, because if you panic, I panic. I see that, and so I had to be her strength because she didn't have any at that time, so I had to be strong for her. After 4 weeks, it went from 90% to 0. They killed the leukemia in 4 weeks.
Today, Ryla is cancer-free. She finished her last round of chemotherapy in July of last year.
There's so many problems in this world, and no matter how bad or heavy it is, God's still there as long as you keep asking Him. That's what actually kept us together as a family, was because church and everything that the lesson was being taught to us, and it helped us.
I had faith in God. That's the bottom line. Whatever wrongs you've done, you can always turn around. As long as you have the heart, and the power to ask God, forgive me for my sins, He'll give us an opportunity to change.
And my daughter was a test. My faith. My faith. This God asked me to do it. But after my daughter made me believe that this church is real. My faith is real. It's unbelievable. But how was I tested? I have to look